Welcome to Cine Here, where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy Nikki Tay.
And today, we're reviewing Pokémon Detective Pikachu.
Pika Pika! Directed by Rob Letterman, starring Ryan Reynolds and Justice Smith. Detective Pikachu. Let's just start off with the director, right? Rob Letterman, who a lot of you might not know or recognize, right? Let's just go over the resume. Let's just go square one.
Okay.
For everybody that was excited about this movie, we thought this movie was going to be absolutely amazing, especially after watching Avengers Endgame. It's hard to bring an amazing movie after one of the best movies we've seen in a long time. So Rob Letterman, he made Shark Tales with Will Smith. Ooh. Monster vs. Aliens with Seth Rogen.
I actually like that movie.
Movie ain't bad.
Yeah.
Movie ain't bad. Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black.
Never seen it.
Oh, you don't want to. And then Goosebumps with Jack Black, the first one. So he's got a few okays and he's got a few right? So automatically I knew Detective Pikachu was gonna be like or okay. It wouldn't be anything amazing. And it also is based on a video game. So video game movies also don't do well.
They don't.
Right? But this movie has something that the other ones don't.
Pokemon,
yeah. Right? It has Pokemon. And friendly trailer, I can tell you, I was a little excited. Once I saw some of the Pokemon, I said they look natural. It looks real. This is everything you wanted as a child growing up in the 90s. You wanted a Pokemon. You wanted Pokemon to be real. And this movie gives you that in a way. It gives you the sense that, hey, this is what the world would look like if Pokemon were real. So kudos.
And let me say this. Let me start by saying this. Let me take it back like you did, right? As a fan of Pokemon, I think like most of us is, right?
Everybody.
Pretty much everybody is. Pokemon Go shows that. Everybody loves Pokemon, right?
Absolutely.
This movie was going in with two negatives already off top. One negative was,
There it is.
Most people that like Pokemon want to see them battle and be captured, right? And that was not an element going into this movie. So that's already not headed into the movie. The second thing is, if you're going to make your first live action Pokemon movie that I can think of off the top of my head, most likely people want to see the people that grew up with Ash, you know, any of those, Brock, Misty, any of these characters that we have grown to love on a TV show, or Red, which is kind of like Ash, on the actual video game. So it's like, you're already going in with two things that we're not getting, right? So that weighed on this movie as well, because as good as the CGI was in this movie, the CGI was fairly, it's fairly decent. It didn't have any of the elements that I was looking for in my Pokemon movie. They gave me spurts of it and teased it a little bit, but they didn't give me what I think Pokemon is at its core, and that is somebody going out and training and battling Pokemon.
I like all the points you made. I would try to do a positive, since I kind of came in with a negative.
Okay.
I'll kind of do a positive. I absolutely love the nods to the TV show and video game.
Okay.
It was great to see moments like the Squirtle Squad and the secret magical garden, or whatever that episode was with Bulbasaur when he goes back. It was great to see those key moments be played out in the movie, and I'm just going to assume that some of that was on purpose. I am going to assume, because that makes me happy as a fan. Great job to incorporate a lot of what we grew up with, right? A lot of those the core episodes, right? The original episodes, the original Pokemon. Seeing some of those scenes on the big screen,
and as well, I know I got a lot of negatives, and the movie wasn't.
I got a negative next.
Okay, the movie wasn't bad, so I guess let me go into some positive about the movie. Ryan Reynolds does what he does best, right? He gives us the jokes. We either laugh at him or we say, good try, Ryan Reynolds. I like what you did there. Keep it up. Like, Ryan Reynolds does what he does best. Like, if you love him as an actor and what he does, he brings that same...
If you love him as Deadpool, you will love him as Pikachu.
Yeah, if you love him as Deadpool, then you will love him as Pikachu. He delivers the jokes. Some of them were funny. Not quite as funny as some people in the theater was laughing, but some of them were funny, and I give him that. I think the chemistry between him and Smith was good, right? I'm not a big fan of Smith on the big screen. He has done 2 movies.
Don't take my negative. Don't take my negative.
Okay, I'll let you go. I'll let Nicky go next. I didn't know that was your negative.
Yes, so Justice Smith.
Okay.
And the first time I can remember Justice Smith was The Get Down on Netflix, which I loved. I loved The Get Down.
I didn't watch it.
It was a great show. Apparently not a lot of people watched it because it got canceled. So, it's like, okay, I keep my eye out. Up and coming African-American.
Did he do well on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he did. I thought either the writing or the environment in which the show took place made his acting suitable, if not good.
Okay.
So I won't big him up, but he didn't do bad. Then I saw Jurassic World, and I said, you know what? This is a stumble. Is it the movie? Is it him? Is it everything? Jurassic World was terrible. We all know that. But, I gave him a lot of slack for that in the review. I think I did. I said, it was awful. I wasn't feeling it.
Check the review out if you haven't seen it.
Absolutely. Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Oh, you missed the movie. Wasn't he in Bumblebee?
No.
That wasn't him? I thought that was him.
No, that's not.
Okay. I'm sorry. Apologize.
Pokemon. I'm glad I stopped you. You'd have looked like a fool on camera. Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
It would have been cut.
It just reconfirms everything I thought in just Jurassic World. He's just not a good actor.
I wouldn't say that.
He's not good. And hear me out. Hear me out. There are scenes in this movie in which I am made to feel emotions. The story is designed for me to care about his character situation. And Pikachu and Ryan Reynolds in the CGI did a better job than Justice. That is just point blank. The CGI Pikachu, when his eyes get big and they start swelling up, I felt it almost. I mean, again, it's CGI, so I'm not like, oh my God, Pikachu's sad. I don't care. He's not real. But Justice, who is actually sad and crying in this scene, not like Denzel glory tear, but I, cut, put some Visine and let it drip, and then get to acting tears. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. In two movies, I don't really need a third to confirm that you just not are as good as I want you to be. And that's fine. Some people have that career. Not everybody can be Don Cheadle.
No.
Some people got to be Kevin Hart when it comes to that. I'm just throwing him under the bus every time.
I agree with most of your points, so I'm not going to even touch on that. You got it, boom. I'm going to go some more positive about the movie. Because this movie's not bad. And I don't want to give
But it's not great.
Oh, well, clearly. We got a lot of negatives.
It's maybe good. Maybe.
We got a lot of negatives here. So, another positive is, the story wasn't bad, right? I think that another thing that this movie probably could have done better on was the actual detective work. Now, the detective work itself was good, but the mystery behind it was lackluster, right? It never really made you feel like he was trying to help figure something out, right? You never felt like he was helping connect the dots.
I felt like I knew it.
That's what I'm saying. Like it didn't give you that point where, well, also maybe because it was for kids, so they didn't want to give it too much, right? They didn't want to put too much emphasis on the mystery part of it. But when you hear the word detective, you think mystery, you think like Sherlock Holmes. Like how can we work our way till when we get to this conclusion, we say, oh my gosh, like that was well worth it. And we never got that big payoff. But the story itself wasn't bad. Some of the supporting characters, I think, did well, not acting wise, but in the story they did well. And I think the Pokemon were underutilized. I think that, yes, we've seen a lot of Pokemon, but not a lot of them were used in the actual story. Like they didn't play I would say a bigger role. Or even a minor role in the story. You see him here and there. Oh yeah, look at Tuggy, look at his face. Mr. Mound, we got a scene. But like we didn't get more than that, right? And that's probably my biggest thing that I'm taking away from this.
I think everybody knows where this is going, right? Like this movie isn't great. Which is, I mean, I'm not surprised. Like when I first saw Detective Pikachu, I almost felt the way I felt about seeing a Sonic movie. Right? It's like why? It's like I don't need it. I don't want it. And then like looking at the dates, I was like, oh, this is coming after Endgame. Like why? Like it's just terrible timing. All right. I'm not comparing the movies at all, but I am comparing the movies essentially. This for me is it's 6.5. I'll give it 6.5. I'm happy with a 6.5 because, like, should you go and see it? Yeah, if you love Pokemon, absolutely, go see it.
Absolutely.
Is this a movie that is going to blow you away? Probably not. Probably not, unless you are just so damn into Pokemon that I just can't even fathom, the level of excitement you have about seeing those fuzzy critters on the screen.
This movie spawns an actual Pokemon live action movie where we get training and fighting and a tough emotional story involving Pokemon. I hope that this movie transitions into that. That is my hope. We got a little bit of that at the beginning of this movie, but none of that afterwards. In closing, I would say that this movie did not hit on all of the marks that they wanted to hit. Detective movie, it didn't get there. Emotional, thrust and how you want to feel when you watch these emotional settings, it didn't hit those marks. Pokemon battling, we got a little bit of that, but just so much that it's like almost not even worth talking about. So I didn't get none of the three things I thought I was going to get coming to this movie, but the movie was enjoyable. I will have to give this movie a 6.7. I think this movie is well worth the watch if you love Pokemon or if you like Deadpool, right? I would say if you like Deadpool and you're younger, I don't think some of the older people might feel Pokemon as much as some of the people that love Pokemon and also like Deadpool. I think if you like those two things, this movie is definitely worth going to check out. And then, at the end of the day, I wasn't upset when I left the theater, so that's a plus.
That completes the review for Pokemon Detective Pikachu. It's almost like you kind of said earlier. If this would have came out during Pokemon Go, this movie would have been amazing. This would destroy the box office. I'm 100% sure because everybody would have just been going just to stay in the theater, boop, boop, catching it. It would have been a phenomenon. But it's 3 years too late, and now we just get Ryan Reynolds when he's not making a superhero movie. We just get him voicing Pikachu, which is cool. Everybody got their thing. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know how you feel about the movie. I know some of you will probably love this movie. Say, you guys are crazy. I thought it was awesome. Did you see the Growlithe? Yeah, I saw about 10 of them. Make sure you hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all of our reviewing content. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here. Thunderbolt, Thundershock, Volt Tackle, whatever.